Title: The Mirror Between Us. By Elroi Novel Library. I believe that love was supposed to protect you from pain. That when someone loved you, they'd wrap you in warmth and shield you from everything, even yourself. I never imagined love would hold up a mirror. Then I met Elijah. He loved in a way that was both soft and startling. His presence was calm, his voice a kind of music I didn't know I needed. But his eyes, those eyes always saw too much, and sometimes it felt like he knew me more than I knew myself. "Purple doesn't suit you," he once said gently, brushing a loose curl behind my ear. "But blue? Blue makes you glow." It sounded sweet, but I hated that he noticed. I hated that he was right. He saw things I didn't want to see, like how I often repeated stories to feel important, how I laughed a little too loud when I was nervous, how I surrounded myself with people who didn't challenge me so I could feel like I was enough. "You're not broken," he'd say, "but sometimes I think you're afraid to look in the mirror." I smiled. I always smiled. But deep down, his words scratched at a part of me I kept hidden. I didn't want a love that made me feel like a project. I wanted someone to hold my hand and say, "You're perfect," even when I knew I wasn't. I started pulling away in ways I didn't fully understand. Conversations grew shorter. My laughs sounded different, even to me. I'd catch him watching me worried, but I'd look away. "You've changed," he whispered one night. Maybe I had. Or maybe I was just finally showing the parts one tried to hide. He brought things up with kindness, but it still stung. "Maya, you downplay yourself. You shrink even when there's room to grow." I snapped that night. I told him to stop dissecting me like I was some psychology puzzle he needed to solve. He looked hurt. I think that broke me more than I wanted to admit. "I'm not trying to change you," he said softly. "I'm trying to love the real you." But that was the problem. I didn't want to be seen. Not really. Because what if he saw something he couldn't love? So I built a wall and called it boundaries. I told myself he was being too much, too intense. I made him the villain in a story I was too afraid to rewrite. After the silence stretched too long between us, I woke one morning and realized I missed his voice. Not just the way it sounded, but the way it made me question the stories I told myself. Elijah didn't leave me because I was flawed. He drifted because I wouldn't let him see me. I confused feedback with rejection. I wanted to be adored, not understood. But what he offered wasn't judgment, it was truth wrapped in love. And I rejected it because I was still learning how to love myself that deeply. Looking back now, I understand. The mirror he held up wasn't to shame me. It was to help me see the beauty beneath the noise, the patterns, the pride. And maybe, just maybe, I would have seen it too if I had dared to look longer. I still think of him. Not with pain, but with a quiet ache and a deeper gratitude. He was the one who taught me that love isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to be seen and gentle enough to see back.